Hi, I'm Bernie Mack, and you got me on Loveline next on MTV. Who you with?
Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content.
Loveline. Viewer discretion advised.
Welcome to Loveline! Tonight's special guest, Bernie Mack. I am Diane Fawn. Here are the men of Loveline, Adam Carolla and Todd Sutru.
Come on.
Handsome tonight.
Thank you.
Very
You tucked his
fit.
shirt in for the first time in a month. That's
Yeah.
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 I know. Our
Wardrobe,
producer,
it's called.
whatever. No, Tracy. What's Tracy
Stage
doing?
manager?
Stage manager.
Stage manager. She just asked me if I lost weight.
Just now?
Just
you
now.
asked him that?
I said, I've been hanging out here for 8 hours. You lost some weight? Yeah, I did 7,000 push-ups in the dressing room, Tracy, in the last 5 minutes and shed 15 pounds. It's so easy to fall. I tucked my shirt in.
One of the producers just said you look like Neil Diamond.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, he got a lot of trim in his prime, Neil did. God bless the tree people.
All right, what are we doing? What are we doing?
right.
Audience.
Yeah, we're going to
Phones.
audience. We're going to talk to them. We'll go to the
Phones.
phones. We're going to talk to those people. I hesitate to go the via TV phone unless we really have to.
We might. We'll see.
If we break down and the wheels come off the wagon, we may implement the via TV phone. This is something we use not only to communicate with our callers, but to punish our audience.
Yes.
All right, we plug this in, and we see them while they're asking their question.
Right. And then I may go to the audience.
And I see we have some email there as well.
Oh, Drew, and I'm
Another
sure you read
favorite.
that 100 times before you're going to fumble through it tonight on the air. Please tell Drew when we have email so we can read it once and not make an ass of both of us when he stumbles through it live on the air. And tonight, our guest from the new Eddie Murphy movie, I think his name is Murphy, called Life, is Bernie Mack will be out here. Lisa's 18 and on the phone. Lisa?
Yeah, my problem is my belly button. It's extremely deep. It's like I can stick an entire Q-tip in my belly button. My mom and my sister, they both have this problem, and my mom tells me it's like a deep, dark place that, you know, like fungus can grow and stuff like that. It's really nasty, and I try to clean it a lot, but no matter what I do, it still smells really bad. And then my boyfriend, like, he goes to kiss my belly button, and it really turns him off because it's nasty. I want to know what I should do.
Oh, this is good. How are you? Are you a big gal, Lisa?
No, I'm thin. I'm very thin. I wear size 9. You know, I'm not a big girl at all. I work out, so I've got a hard stomach. It's not like I'm fat or anything.
Stop it, both of you. Stop it.
Well, hold on a second. Now listen,
I'm
the
not like
fat.
this really fat person.
Quiet down.
How tall are you,
Well,
Lisa?
Belly, quiet now. You really ought to put a little shed roof over it and have people pitch change into that. Make a wish. When you're heavy, you got a deep belly button.
Right.
Now,
Couldn't it just be how the umbilical?
oh, this is
Oh, yeah.
this is
In
something
her
going
case,
on.
yeah,
I just
her.
wanted to eliminate
But
the heavy.
How
first.
old
But
were
Drew,
you? What?
if you're slender,
Yeah.
and you have a belly button that extends into you 3.5 inches,
Yeah.
aren't you getting into some organs and things at that point?
You are.
You're not hollow, are you?
No, you're not. But some people are just deeper. It's where it seals off at a deeper level. But it's, you know, I've had old patients, nursing home patients, that form abscesses in there, and it's an area that can go quite deep sometimes. But my question to you is, at what age did your mom start telling you this was this deep, dark, horrible place?
Well, my mom, I mean, when
How
I
old?
showed it to her,
How
when
old?
I showed it to her, she said that, you know, it's dark there, so, you know, like water will get in there, it can get like,
How
you know.
old were you? Was she let you
And there's a
believe
troll that lives in there.
that you,
Yeah.
this was
No,
this?
it's just recently that I noticed it was this bad.
So it's just recently you went and talked to her about this.
Yeah.
All right.
Just recently you noticed it was this deep or this smelly?
I would guess
See, that's the weird thing. It smells really bad.
that the boyfriend told you it smelled
And,
bad,
yeah, he
and
was
then
like,
you started
why
to
does
notice
your
it.
belly button
All right, here's the
smell?
deal. The reason it smells is because there's bacteria growing in there. The reason bacteria are growing in there is because it's dark and it's sealed off. anaerobic bacteria that don't use oxygen are particularly bad smelling. So you need to go to the doctor. There are antibiotic creams you can use.
Oh, please.
Yes.
Oh,
If
go to
she
the
never
doctor.
noticed this in her entire life till some guy put his face in it and told her it was
But
bad.
the point is, it's so easy to deal with this if indeed there's really something
Why
there.
you don't have to go
But
to
can't the guy just not kiss her belly button and
Yes,
life
he should.
will go on
He's a jerk.
just
You should
fine?
stay away, absolutely. But no, you can form abscesses and things in there. It is an important thing to get the bacteria out of, and use peroxide to clean it and whatnot.
You
But
dump
Do
a little,
you
fill it
clean
up
your
with
belly
peroxide?
button on a daily basis?
I do it every single day.
No, not
after I get out of
you.
the shower, I make sure it's clean. I mean, after a while, it's
Oh,
like
easy.
Lisa, we don't think there's anything wrong with your belly button. We think your boyfriend has made you believe that there's something
well,
wrong with
I
your
don't
belly
think
button.
it's that. I
No,
mean,
no, there's
it's just,
something wrong with
I
the belly
noticed it.
button.
but it's not that big a deal.
He didn't
You know, it's not that
manufacture
big a deal to
the
me,
stink
but
belly.
I mean, it's kind of nasty though if you
It-
like
it's-
smell your belly button and it stinks. You know. It's
All
kinda,
right, but again, it's the anaerobic bacteria. They're easy to clean out with some try peroxide for starters, and then if not,
Right.
then there's something
Are
called
you supposed to
Bactroban.
clean it like
Yeah.
regularly?
Herds.
Yeah. Jimmy.
Think, everybody.
I masturbate regularly as many times
boy.
as I can in any place that I can think of. I have done it on occasion in church, in my church bathroom.
That's not what the basket's for, Jimmy.
I know.
I warn you.
It's, in
Can't
the
get
back
the
of-
nickels apart when you're doing that.
I do the best I can. I kind of get off on it in theaters and in restaurant bathrooms.
Public places.
Yeah, public.
Are you-
public places.
Are people see you when you do this?
No, I have a real big thing with people not seeing me. It's just the whole thing of doing it in those places.
Yeah, you're very coy, Jimmy. We can see that by
Yeah.
you whacking off at the restaurant and the church and everything. We see your sensibilities are very delicate, and you don't want to. Of course, you want people to see you. Why else you whacking off at church?
Well, it's an aggressive act.
Well, you like getting away with something.
It's an aggression against the symbols of those places, the church and the school.
How can you focus with Jesus hanging there with that look? You know, we're just like going,
Ooh.
Well, I'm usually in the bathrooms when I do it.
of church?
Of church.
Oh, well, that's all right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do it on occasion every hour, sometimes 6, 7, 8 hours a day.
All right, what happened to you, Jimmy? Come on. Where'd this come from?
I practice an abstinent life, and I'm an avid churchgoer.
Good.
I'm afraid.
Yeah, they wish you'd slow it down a little, quite frankly, Jimmy.
Okay,
The
well,
point of abstinence you've missed entirely.
He just got done saying he whacks off at church every
6 times a
week.
day.
I know,
But he's an
when-
avid
but when
churchgoer.
you
He's
said
a
to
man
him,
of
what
the
kind
faith.
of life do you lead? He says he's a pious man and an average
he said he
churchgoer.
goes to the church a lot. If that's the only place you whacked off, you'd be going to the church a lot too.
I'd have to put a cot in the bathroom.
That's
if
right.
That's the only place I
Yeah,
whacked
but this
off.
is like what came first,
Yeah,
the
it's-
chicken
what's-
or
but
the egg?
something's up with Jimmy. What happened?
Jimmy, what's
Jimmy? Come
wrong
on.
with you?
What
well,
happened?
I'm afraid of wondering if I'm maybe a sex addict.
Well, I would bet, judging by the aggressiveness and the hypersexuality, that you were touched or abused or something as a child. Is that accurate?
I have no memory of that.
Is anybody ever suspicious about that?
No.
Do you have memories of your childhood?
Yes, I never had any type of sexual abuse. I did have verbal abuse from my stepfather for a few years.
And you never went out and experimented in your neighborhood with peers or anything weird like that? Or,
No.
Well, were you told your whole life that sex was bad and that sexual
No,
intercourse was bad?
Actually, my mother was very open-minded, and she told me all about the birds and the bees when I was real young.
Why'd you get so religious?
I live in a Bible Belt town, and it's pretty much when you're born, you go to church.
All right. Why don't you keep your Bible belt buckled when you're in church?
Is there any-
change,
is
by
there-
the way. Well, hold on. Let me talk to Drew for a second. Let's put Jimmy on hold there for a second. I want to talk about him. Once in a while, we get these callers that sound like they've been sucking on an ether rag.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like a man as a woman on a quaalude, and it's always smacks of something really weird. And when you're so there's this certain kind of guy, when you get too weirded out, we hear it on the radio once in a while, your voice gets sort of affected, slowed. It's like somebody actually mechanically slowed it down, like recorded it and then played it at a slower speed. Always means something's up. I mean, head trauma, something serious. I mean, Jimmy's got some big time stuff going on.
Something's up.
But maybe he wasn't the victim of some sort of overt abuse. Maybe he has some serious psychological or neurological problems.
Or
you wanna
maybe
ask him?
Jimmy has not dealt with people Like
Yeah,
if,
but that
if he's
doesn't-
dealing
that-
very closely with God and not interacting with other
Jimmy
humans.
he has a chemical
Needs to be
imbalance or
evaluated.
something.
Yeah, yeah.
Where the
Two.
hell was he? Two?
Jimmy?
Jimmy?
Adam's been.
I've sussed you out.
Do you have any medical problems?
Actually, I'm going to be seeing a doctor about this next week.
About the behavior?
About the behavior. I have talked to a few counselors at my college. They feel that I may indeed have a chemical imbalance.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
That I might need medication. I do suffer from depression as well.
It may be like a manic depressive syndrome, perhaps.
I do work well with people. People usually like me. It's the fact that I don't like being around people.
Yeah.
And so I have a great personality. It's just the fact that I don't like actually interacting with other people. And
Other than that, the personality's great and you're a joy to work with, other than not liking people?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you make a good counselor, right?
Going at it in their
And
bathroom.
are you sure, Jimmy, you never experimented with kids in your neighborhood or played house or doctor, any weird stuff like that went on?
No, I've never done that. I actually am quite... I don't really like sexual contact with other people.
Are you a virgin? Are you a virgin?
Yes.
And stepdad never got a hold of you or anything
No.
like that?
And nobody
All right.
physically abused you?
Yeah, no, he never physically abused
Just
me. It was always
emotional abuse.
verbal abuse.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe
All right,
it's
well,
just
you
too
know,
much TV.
you're getting
Go.
evaluated. Indeed, it may be a chemical issue that perhaps when the appropriate medication is being given to you, and I would suspect some sort of bipolar kind of condition, some of these behaviors will diminish and be containable. But, oof.
This one, though, was not created by the environment.
No.
This one, I think, is bubbling from within, which is a chemical imbalance.
It's always a little bit of both, but yeah, there's
But
some
he's
real
probably
biology.
not a sex addict, which was what his question
I couldn't.
was.
Well, he's
Jimmy's
a
a
virgin, so you know, it's like, I don't know. I guess you can be an alcoholic without drinking, which
yeah.
is once you have your first drink, you may not put the
Bottle.
stein down.
Yeah.
All right, our next guest has been in 1,000 different movies, including Friday, which is one that I enjoyed very much. He has a new movie coming out called Life, which has Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence in it. Welcome, Bernie Mac.
How y'all doing? All right. What's up, man?
What a
Yes,
fabulous
sir.
suit.
Thank you, honey. Thank you, baby. Thank you, honey.
Bernie,
Yes, sir.
I gotta say, you are one of the best smelling guests we've had.
And best dressed. Look
And
at this
best
fabulous
dressed.
suit.
And look at these fingers. 1,000 Asian women must have spent half their life on those things.
Well, you know, Adam,
at that.
Adam, I got to be who I am, man.
Yeah.
You know, this is how I walk all doggone day. Hi, Doc. Hey, another Dr. Dre.
Look at this. Can we get a shot of these nails? This is beautiful.
They call it a manicure. You know what I mean?
I know, but look at that.
I get a pedicure.
Look at that.
I get a
Drew.
massage.
It winked at me. It's
I
so
love
shiny.
myself, man.
You
And
certainly
I don't
do.
masturbate either. I love myself.
All right, let's talk about life for a moment.
All right.
I guess you could work with worse guys than Eddie Murphy
What do you mean by that?
and Martin Lawrence. I'm saying these are two huge stars.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the movies that you guys are on death row.
Yeah. Well, it's about Eddie and Martin goes to jail for a crime that they really didn't do.
Right.
And they serve life. And it's a scene in 1932. And it's all these different inmates. We call them Hogan Heroes. And Obar, Shabaka, Guy Torrey, myself, a host of talented cats, man. I had a ball.
And you're one of the lifers who's
Yes,
in
I am.
prison
My
there?
name is Django Leg. And all I'm going to tell you, he's a character. That's all I'm going to tell you.
And the movie takes place in the 30s?
Yes, it does.
Wow.
And why that particular time period? I mean,
Well, you have the speakeasies, you have
Right.
the chip joints, and you have the number game, and it tells the history of Martin and Eddie doing their little thing. At that time, I'm not going to tell the whole story.
Right.
And they get involved in something once again, and they pay the price, and they go to jail for life.
and is it? But it is a comedy, right?
It's a dramedy. It has some twists and some turns, and it's gonna make you cry. It's gonna make you laugh. It's gonna make you cheer. It's gonna make you say hell no. You know. You know, you ever been in a movie you say hell no?
No, I broke wind once. I cheered, I laughed, I cried, and I broke wind, and then my girlfriend cried.
Oh, you must have saw Godzilla.
Scary. All right, here we go.
All right, Drew, you ready?
I'm ready. Rachel, what's going on there?
Clues.
Rachel,
Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
what's up?
Okay, here's my situation. I've been married to my husband for 3 years, and some of his fantasies kind of freak me out. He told me early in our relationship that when he was younger, he would wear his sister's panties and her makeup while he masturbated. And now in our sexual relations, he pretends like he's a lesbian while I dominate him with sex toys.
Other than that, everything normal?
Other than that, we have a great marriage.
This is one small.
And you don't like this?
The idea of him pretending to be a woman, it grosses me out.
Hey, how does he? Well, I guess if he's the woman and he's doing stuff on you, that makes him a lesbian.
No,
His
she's doing
fantasy
it to him,
is that while I'm dominating him with sex toys, that he is a woman and he's with me and I'm a woman, so that we're having lesbian relationships.
Do you tell him how much this disturbs you?
I have brought it up to him, and I've also brought up like maybe the issues of some homosexual tendencies, and it makes him really angry, and he says that it's just a fantasy.
Yeah,
And
it's
At
not.
this point, I don't know. I think he should be relieved if this guy went gay. Thank God I could put the vibrator down.
And this strangely, lesbian fantasies by men typically aren't about being gay, because it turns out that most guys that, I'm not sure this data is accurate, but at least most of the ones I have dealt with.
Guys you dated in college?
No, most of the guys who are transsexual females do it to have lesbian relationships with women. So it's a fact. And so if they're not gay, it's some weird gender issue about being connected with mom, quite literally, that assuages some old feelings of annihilation and castration that allows them then to have a relationship with a woman.
Sounds like sister. This was sister.
No,
What went on in the
mom.
past, though, with the sisters and the makeup and the panties and that kind of thing?
Well, I mean, other than just saying that that's what he's done, he's never really elaborated any further than just admitting that he's done those things.
And
I mean,
he needs to do this all the time during sex?
well, it's gotten to the point now of, yes, that it is
Is
ruining
it every Thursday? Is it every Thursday?
It's a true fetish. This is a fetish.
Yeah.
He needs it to function. And
that it's ruining our sex life because he
you know what,
has a
Rachel?
difficult time pretending.
Rachel, look, this is obviously very disturbing to you. You need to get him to a therapist, to professional help, to see if this is something that can or cannot be changed, because it sounds like it's really threatening your relationship at this point. And he needs to, just like anything else, when somebody's behavior or their emotional conduct is such that it's really become a serious issue, you have to make him hear how much this is disturbing you and get him to somebody
And
to
he
evaluate
dresses
this.
like a woman as well? Hold on, don't put her on hold. I gotta ask something.
Have you ever taped him?
No.
You should tape it and play it back for him.
He doesn't dress like a woman because I just stressed to him that I want my husband to be a man and not to be a woman. If I wanted to be a woman, I would do that.
You gotta
then
get
I would
him.
be with a woman.
Right, but you do sort of experiment with him
Well,
other than
certainly.
that. All right,
Well,
anything up with you that you're sort of willing to be manipulated this way?
Well, no, I mean, my philosophy is that you only live once, so I'm pretty open to explore different areas, and I feel that when you're married, that's the perfect opportunity in a relationship with somebody to really be truly honest.
I go 5 lifetimes without something in my ass. Let me tell you that right
Rachel,
now. That's my
this-
philosophy.
Your situation.
I don't care how many times I'm reincarnated. Nothing getting in the
Wait,
ass.
Rachel, your situation exemplifies how bogus and empty that notion is in our culture right now.
It's like a
That's load
Schlitz
of
commercial.
crap.
You only go around once,
That's right.
you got to reach for all the gusto you
It's
can.
a lot of BS. So what people do when they get into fetishes is start restricting their expression, don't you, Rachel? It's less intimate. It's more restricted. This business about try whatever you want, it's going to be an expression. It's a load of crap.
But there's no
Don't
more
believe
trying.
It.
She's doing one thing
She's
now.
got a situation here that needs to be evaluated. It's threatening their relationship. She's got to get him to somebody, or this is not going to change.
Well, she's helping out too, right?
Oh yeah, if he, people that have fetishes usually are kind of guilty about it and don't like it particularly. So he might have an opportunity to really get through something here.
But why don't she tape it and show it back to him So that wouldn't help
That's
him?
not the way it works.
No,
It'd be
because when
funny
it
for
shows up
us.
on
That'd help me.
Springer
That'd
2
help me.
years from
Anna,
now.
what's going on? Anna.
Hi. Yeah, I've been going out with this guy for a couple months, and we've been really good friends ever since this summer. So he really means a lot to me, and I love him to death. But a couple weeks ago, my ex-boyfriend called me up and invited me over to talk, and I went over there, and we ended up sleeping together. And I was
No, she did.
It, yeah, it wasn't good. We were both pretty drunk, so.
Did you like it?
I don't really remember it.
What's the question?
The question is, I feel really guilty, and I don't know if I should tell this guy Ben.
No.
new
All
guy.
right,
hold on.
I'm guessing Bernie doesn't want her to. But we'll take a break. Drew will go in the audience, and then we'll find out.
Okay.
If you have a question for Loveline, you can call us 24 hours a day. 323-520-LOVE. Long distance charges may apply.
More Loveline with the meticulously groomed Bernie Mack. Life is the name of the movie. Going to be out real soon. Anna is on the phone. Drew's in the audience, where he belongs. Where the hell is
on
Anna there?
4.
Line 4. Anna?
Yeah?
So you have a boyfriend that you love to death.
Yeah.
You love him so much you're banging around with some other guy who was your ex-boyfriend. He called you over. You went over there to talk. You magically got drunk and had sex. My contention is you know what you're doing when you head over to the
Right.
guy's house.
Right.
Now you get liquored up.
Yeah, I was drunk before he
One
called.
thing leads to another.
You begin the ball rolling way before you're actually involved with the guy.
She was reminiscing. She thought about how.
Well, but if you really didn't want to get involved with a guy
Yeah.
or put your relationship at risk, you don't accept the invitation to go over there and start drinking in the first place.
How long she been dealing with her new boyfriend? How long have you been dealing with him?
My new boyfriend?
Yes.
Couple months.
Oh, and the old.
We've been really good friends since the summer, and I've loved him ever since the summer, and we just got together a couple months ago.
But so the
He
question
told
is,
me-
should you tell your new boyfriend? Is that the question?
Yeah, because I feel really
All
guilty.
right, let's hear from the audience. Hold on.
All right.
I think she should tell her new boyfriend because, I mean, potentially she's going to form, a serious relationship with this guy. And if she wants it to be based on honesty, then she needs to tell him about it. And if he chooses to accept that and still, go on with the relationship, then fine. But that should be his choice. He should have all the facts because if he did that, she'd want to know. So being honest about it, she definitely should tell him.
All right. We're going with honesty.
Another comment.
I don't think so. I think she was going through a phase. She slept with this ex-guy. She really didn't like him. So now she knows what she has at home. She appreciates it, and I don't think she'll do it again. I don't think she should tell.
All right.
I'm with ya.
We got a
It's
vote for
interesting,
life.
though, her guilt is the issue. That's what she wants to unload. She wants to eliminate this burden of guilt by telling
Yeah.
her.
Well, I think you hear a lot of like
Drew,
own
get
up
back
to your
over here, would you?
No, I
responsibilities.
like it out here.
Own up to your responsibilities. Be honest with the person, and it's not your guilt. You can't unload your guilt on someone else. You can deal with the fact that you did something wrong, and if you decide you will never do this again, you're not doing him an injustice, and you move on from there. You're just going to hurt him with the information. If you think you're going to do it again, you break up with him. If you don't think you are, then don't do it.
That is definitely the most sensible advice. Drew and I think, and Diane probably too, would wager that she's into a little bit of chaos.
Oh, yes.
She got in a relationship. She felt vulnerable.
Yep.
She felt like she was giving her heart away. So she had a few beers, went off and banged around, intentionally trying to sabotage it. The part of you that wants to tell this guy is not the guilt part. It's the part that knows he's going to blow up and break up. And you're sabotaging the relationship, Anna.
Right?
Because you need the chaos.
No, I don't think that's true. I just
Think about it.
I think it's totally the guilt.
Now, listen.
the
You
only
love
reason
this
I
guy
haven't
so much. Why are you screwing around on him?
Well, the only reason I haven't
Anna,
told
shut up.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you,
But
Bernie.
if you love him so much, why did you screw around? That's the question.
Well, I was thinking of them
Lust.
the whole time.
So why'd you do it?
Well,
It's good.
Why'd you stop?
because this new guy is a virgin, and I feel like I have to take it really slow with him.
Oh my
So I-
God.
Okay, now you're.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing.
No, you're definitely not allowed to tell him. Don't tell him. This will ruin his whole
You'll
life.
kill him.
Leave him alone.
Yeah.
You end up in the
Yeah,
in the paper
this is
with
the
your
first
name spelled
relationship
wrong.
he's ever
Don't
been
tell him.
And they even misspell slut, too. Listen. 2 T's.
Oh.
What the hell? All right. Don't tell him, but mark my words, she'll make another move down the road.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Not
she
enough
can't
drama.
help herself. Right.
Yeah.
He's not chaotic enough. He's a nice virgin guy.
Right.
Paige, 18.
Yes.
What's going on?
Hi. My boyfriend has a big, ugly wart on his penis, and we use protection most of the time.
Hold on. It felt like he had a big wart on his penis.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I have seen it. It's very unattractive. I haven't caught anything from it.
Oh, yes, you have. Yes, you have. I mean, if he has a wart and you've had unprotected sex.
But he's just had like, no, he's
Paige?
just had it for, I've been dating him for about 9 months, and,
Paige, you have the wart virus now.
oh no.
I may have it just from hearing the question.
Why isn't he?
Now Bernie's got it.
You got it.
Why isn't he having this treated?
I don't know. I mean, I never really asked him about it. I was too embarrassed.
It has to be treated, okay? And
Okay.
people with the actual presence of the wart, the visible wart, are highly contagious with the wart virus.
Uh-huh.
For him, it's not a big deal. It can propagate, and if they get down to the perineum region or even into around the anus, it can increase the risk of rectal cancer.
Uh-huh.
For women, having the wart virus definitely increases the risk of cervical cancer, certainly particular substrains. And you
women
need to,
don't know it when they have it.
They don't know
That's
when
the
they have it.
dangerous
You
part.
usually have no symptoms at all. You need to go get a pelvic exam, and if there are
Okay.
any pre-cancerous types of cell changes, you need to have that treated, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I mean, why would, if I saw something like that, Doc, I'm going to ask a question.
If I'm with a woman, he'd call like the Marines in or something,
I'm
right?
telling
They have
you,
a
what is
helicopter
that?
airlift
You know,
you.
I'm going to ask a question.
Totally, which is the right
Yeah.
thing to do.
My God.
Is it feasible to get a wart like that people get on their hands on your genitalia
Well, where
that's
does it come
not
from?
herpes like kind of wart?
There's the easy answer
You
is.
mean that's not a human papilloma virus
Yeah.
wart? Well, what is that? What if a frog kissed your penis?
Yeah, it's
Or
as I
rubbed up
understand
on it or
both can
something.
happen, and they're both difficult in that area.
Spreadable
Yeah, in that area.
All right, but
there's
listen,
some
ladies, you
types
see
are-
anything on the penis other than a tattoo, you better talk to somebody about it.
Why not practice? Safe sex is only effective when it's practiced 100% of the time. It's like wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah, and you know what the general rule I always think is if you don't feel comfortable enough to ask someone what's going on in their penis, what's going on in their testicles, what's wrong with their feet, don't sleep with them.
Oh, yeah.
You're not ready. If you're going to share your whole body, open your mouth.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
All right, we'll head over to the Wall of Shame. Victoria's over there. She's 25. And from what I can tell, has about shoulder-length hair. Victoria?
Hi.
Hey.
I just started dating this guy about 6 months ago, and recently he started asking me if I would want to shave my privates. And I'm trying to think about whether I want to do it or not. And the only part about it that makes me uncomfortable is whether him wanting to see me without any hair means that, like, he wants me to look like a little girl. And I'm wondering, like, if it's saying something about him that he's got some kind of pedophilic thing going on.
Okay.
All right. Fair question, and we will answer it after the break, Victoria.
I'm Will Sasso.
I'm Phil Lamar.
I'm Nicole Sullivan. We're all from Mad TV.
You're
and you're
watching
watching Loveline
on
MTV.
Don't get confused.
They're the same, but they're different.
If you have a computer, you can email us at loveline3@aol.com. Please include your phone number.
There's a big difference. Big difference. But you know what? I've always baking soda all the time.
Baking soda. Let's see. Just talking. Bernie, I write a hygiene book.
Yes.
Nails are so shiny, you slip on them. There's the teeth white as a picket fence.
Hey, man.
Not a hair out of place.
Gotta take care of yourself. Yeah. You see a wart, call it in.
That's right. All right, Victoria's before the wall of shame. Her boyfriend wants her to shave her private parts. Does this mean he wants her to look 10 years, 20 years younger?
Can I ask a question? Are you full of hair? Are you hairy?
Not particularly.
Wait a minute, can I stick up for this guy? I don't know why for 1 minute here. He's not the only person on the planet who would ever ask you this. An enormous number of men would like to see someone like this, and I don't personally think it has anything to do with the pedophile look.
It can. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It sort of raises suspicion, that's for sure. But no, it doesn't necessarily mean that. In fact, people that theorize about this thing believe that men are very frightened of that area in general, and when they first come upon it as young boys, it is especially unpleasant to them. And the pubic hair is sort of a symbol of all that anxiety and stuff.
How often are you running into it as a young lad?
But I'm just saying, removing the hair tends to sort of take away some of that anxiety and fear of it being such
and a lot of guys are scared to lose a ring or their glasses or something in there. You know, it's like playing baseball near a big ivy fence, you know what I mean? The thing goes in and never comes out. You never find it again. All right, so here's the deal. It does not necessarily mean anything's up with him.
Right.
Not necessarily.
And there are other signs of pedophilia, such as humping youngsters.
Right. And by the way, and even if he likes sort of a young feminine appearance, doesn't mean he necessarily would act on a child.
Right.
But Victoria, it doesn't sound like you're ready to do this or you're comfortable with it, so don't do it.
Shave one side, compromise. That's what I say. It's just the top.
She might be a little full. I mean, to him.
Here's what everyone, I think, needs to do in their relationships. Just because the guy has 2 beers, don't make him an alcoholic, or just because he wants you to mow the lawn, don't make him a pedophile.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
You put it in your little hopper, and if you gather enough of these things together, too much evidence, it starts to weigh a lot after a while, and then it's time to sort of spread it out and see if you can get the pieces fit together.
Yeah.
But it's not any one thing. And if he's a great guy in all other respects,
Is he a
this
good guy?
is nothing.
He's a good guy, yeah. And I mean, I brought it up with him and asked him, you know, if he had something, you know, going on about that. And he said no, it just seemed exciting, but I just couldn't imagine why someone would want to see that.
All right. Well, he's probably, you know.
Can I generalize 9 out of 10 guys want to see it? It's
don't
not.
matter to me. It don't
Guys
matter
are
to me.
afraid of women's sexuality. It boils down to men are afraid of female sexuality, fundamentally. That's why it needs to be kept so contained. Men like to
Yeah,
contain
but
that
I
culture.
don't know if that's always why they're asking. I don't know if that's why they're aware of it. But
We're going to go to the Easy Bake Oven and speak to Cassidy.
About 3 weeks ago, I went to go visit my boyfriend, and we went to a party together, and I ended up having oral sex with one of his best friends. And this seems to become like a pattern with me. I always end up fooling around with friends of my boyfriends and break up with them afterwards. But I can't seem to keep a relationship.
You're going to get yours.
This seems to be a pattern.
You know, in the hood, you know, they get the word for that.
Ho.
Stop it. I didn't say that. That's kind of tight.
I don't necessarily always have oral sex with their friends.
No,
but
Cassidy, it's okay to say that you have a pattern to do it, but you're hurting all these people in the pattern. It doesn't matter whether or not you're having sex. I mean, even if you hold the best friend's hand for 2 hours.
Well, maybe it's part of their plan. You know, maybe the guys have gotten together and the guy says, "Hey, Phil, why don't you go out with Cassidy so I can get a."
I've seen it done too.
Really? Yeah, we make a good team.
Are you trying to destroy these relationships because they're working out?
I don't know. Like, there have been relationships where they have been working out, and I do that, or sometimes.
All right, let me ask something. Do you have other sort of impulses to want to be sexually provocative with men in a more
Not really.
professional way?
No, no,
you don't
no.
Want, you ever have fantasies about being a stripper or anything like that? And you don't need to be constantly with men? You don't have to be very
No.
sexual all the time.
No, not at all. Like, it's not like I always have
Well,
to
wait
be.
a minute. No, not at all? Your guys' buddies at the party? Not at all? A little bit. A little something there.
Yeah.
I don't want to, like, no.
No.
You can't take those words back. You already did say that.
There's got to be a little something there.
So how many times? Give me a number. How many times have you done it?
I don't know how many, like.
However many boyfriends she's had, she's done it to all of them.
But what I'm trying to figure out is why you have to do this, right? And
Yeah.
oftentimes it's a need to be empowered in relation to men, and you're using your sexuality as a way of expressing that need for empowerment. It's what strippers do. It's what prostitutes do. It's the same kind of a behavior developing here.
So where's your dad, Cassidy?
He's hasn't lived with me for about 5 years.
And what was he like when he was around?
Fine. Well, my parents are still married, but
What
that's
was he
kind of-
like when he was around?
He was fine. I mean, we have a fine relationship.
So why are you acting so screwed up?
Why doesn't he live with
men.
your mother for the past 5 years if they're married?
Because he's working somewhere else and
In jail?
no.
Making license plates?
He's just working in another state right now.
And for 5 years?
Yeah.
Just temporary thing?
It wasn't 5 years at a time. He was gone for 2 years, and then he moved back in with us for 2 years, and he's been gone for 3 years now.
And your parents didn't fight a lot?
Well, yeah, they fought a lot.
Was he physically abusive to your mom?
No, not a...
Alcoholism?
Was he alcohol?
No,
Drug?
he's not an alcoholic,
When
but I
did you
do...
lose your virginity?
I'm still a virgin, actually.
When did-
No, God doesn't call it.
okay.
He doesn't typify him as a virgin.
When did you-
can't be given that.
When did you start getting sexually active with men?
Probably like 2 years ago.
16. And again, tell me more about Dad and Mom. What was going on there? You said that he was what? We interrupted you. You were tell us.
Well, he moved out because my parents did get separated at first, and he was gone for 2 years, but then he moved back in with us.
He moved out because?
Because my parents were having problems, and they got separated.
And what was the nature of the problems?
They really didn't. I think he cheated on her, but I'm not
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
They didn't really tell me.
He did. Okay, listen, I know exactly what's going on, and even if I'm wrong, I don't care because we're moving on. The show's only an hour. Here's what's going on. Dad's screwing around on Mom. She don't trust guys. So what she does, she gets a relationship and just starts to sabotage it. Gets another guy while she's still with this guy. She can't trust guys because Dad was pretty wishy-washy here and gone for a couple years, back for a little while, gone for 3 years, screwed around on Mom. You don't trust guys, and rightfully so. You feel like you have to try to master them in your own way, just like you wish you could have mastered Daddy, but you can't master Daddy, and you can't trust guys either. So you
Absolutely
sabotage
correct.
and you act out.
I
It's
think-
all between you and Daddy.
I agree.
So stop acting out and start getting a little therapy and work it out.
Or just try to stay in a relationship with just to hold yourself in a relationship and see if you can't develop a real intimacy with somebody. You'll feel better about yourself.
And for all the ladies
Thank you.
that hold on to their virginity long enough, when you're going around giving numerous people thank you, you're doing yourself the same disservice. You get the same reputation. If it's a moral thing, it's still not okay.
You get the same STDs.
You got to
Same
draw a
deal.
different barrier.
In fact, maybe more so because people don't wear condoms when they do this stuff.
Good point.
Maybe riskier behavior.
Would you like to step in something that's not good for you, or put it in your mouth?
Mark, let's keep going right on.
In other words, use your head.
I like that.
Mark.
Okay, here's the situation. I've had over 30 sex partners, and I have sex frequently, but I don't orgasm. And because of this, I stopped masturbating. I like to give and receive pleasure from my partners, but no matter how long I go, I don't climax from either intercourse or oral sex.
You're a bad boy.
Yeah. Well, I'm not on any medications or anything, and I'm wondering if something is physically wrong with me.
Have you ever had one with a woman?
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yes.
But not recently?
Maybe 3 partners ago.
Okay. Diane, give you one over the phone. Oh, yes. Is that good?
Doc, I had that problem.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk to Mark. We'll find out when Bernie had that problem, and we'll do it all after this.
If you have a question for Loveline, you can call us 24 hours a day.
Loveline with Bernie Mack. Life's a film you can find him in. Also find Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence in the same film. Now, when we left off, we're speaking to Mark. Mark's 22, is on the phone. He has had orgasms with women, but not many. It's been a while. They say 3 years?
3 relationships ago.
3 relationships ago. He's had sex with 30 women. He's given up on masturbation, which always breaks my heart. I hate to see, especially the younger kids giving up on masturbation. So young, so early in their life. They have so much sperm to produce, and they're giving up on it. And now he thinks this is going to help him have an orgasm with a woman.
Bernie, you said you had this problem?
I had that problem about 22. It was hard for me to get an orgasm, and just broke off by itself. I didn't worry about it. It just broke off by itself.
Yeah, not worrying about it is a key to most of these dysfunctions.
But didn't you break through it when you found the right woman and spent a little time with her? Here's the problem with 30 different women. It's like driving 30 different rental cars. You get in, you do that, and the wiper comes on. You think you're turning the headlights on, the seat moves. You don't know what you're doing because you haven't felt it out. Now, when you drive the same car for 6 months, you hop right in, you're flying the thing around, you're shaving, you're driving, you're signaling, you're doing everything while you're backing out.
That's right.
You know what's going on.
That's right.
All right?
That's right. That's right.
If you keep switching partners, you never get to that point, and you can never get comfortable in the driver's seat.
There you go.
Also, if you can have an orgasm, and we know the plumbing works, and you can have one when you're masturbating, whatever position physically that you're in when you're masturbating, assume that position when you're with the woman. Drew, hold the book up there. Thank you. That is our fabulous book. We're giving it to Bernie because he's been so wonderful tonight.
You, sir.
Give him a hand.
Thank you.
Bernie Mack, Life is the name of the movie.
I had a ball.
Out in April. We do appreciate it. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew and Diane Farr. You can see her head very, very near. Saying mahalo.
Loveline is a Stone Stanley production. Yeah. Cool.